Yes, very interesting session. I thought of it. Sarvesham swastir bhavatu, Sarvesham shantir bhavatu, Sarvesham purnam bhavatu, Sarvesham mangalam bhavatu. You remember every day in the morning, or you recall when the mind is running towards the stress, anxiety, duality, and a conflict. That point of recall and reminding yourself is what Mangalacharan. That changes your entire, not only the day, but the entire life. If we do the practice regularly, and there lies the hidden secret of today's session. Open your eyes. Those who have not gone through the last session, they should listen to it, understand it, and clearly follow it. So, if you follow it, you will realize, if you recognize that there are changes, then obviously you are a seeker, and if you don't realize those changes, there is a long way to go to become a seeker. Only the seeker succeeds. One statement. Second statement, once a seeker, always a seeker. I think I discussed couple of times or many times in our Mondays and Thursdays sessions, and also I always talk because that is one of the most interesting principles, and it is summarized in two words. One is Shreyas, the other is Preyas. We take it intellectually and we forget it. Shreyas, what is right, good, and proper, and Preyas is what is pleasant to me, what I like, I will go after it. Our mind is dictated by what we like, what is pleasant for us, all the time. That leads to the deluded thinking. The first step last time we discussed. Pay attention. Even at this moment when I'm talking to you and you are listening to me and your mind is going somewhere, you have to find out where the mind is going. It is not that only when you have anxiety, stress, duality, and a conflict, then only it is a duality thinking. By default, it has a deluded thinking. Thinking means any thought which is seeking the pleasure from the world outside, which is escaping the pain from the outside, means that pain is coming, pain is situational, pleasure is situational. So now, for example, you have anxiety, you have a duality and a conflict, you are in a deluded thinking, and then the mind continues to move into that direction. eh? It begins blame and complain, and the entire mind is now polluted. It may take an hours together that throughout the day you are in stress and suffering. What if you take, should I say, what if you take your deluded thinking is like a fire alarm that wakes you from the sleep? There is a danger. It is unpleasant but necessary for survival. Fire alarm, necessary to become a seeker. Without it, you might sleep through the emergency. You might sleep through the emergency. with the deluded thinking that anger or that hesitation or that reaction, that blame and complaint will reach at the peak. And once that peak period goes down, and I say, no, I should not have said this. But you have already said it. So that's why I'm comparing it with the metaphor of fire alarm. Again, I'm repeating, like a fire alarm that wakes you from the sleep when there is a danger. Can I recognize that there is a danger when I am into anxiety, duality, blame, complaint? One person, I gave you the real life example. She is a wonderful person, but she is not able to digest her food without blaming and complaining. Without blaming and complaining. Unnecessary. Calm down. You change your mind. So deluded thinking, a fire alarm, unpleasant. You acknowledge it, but move further. That moving further is the second step I told you, that you have a doubt. Don't blame the fire alarm. Now you will understand it easily. Don't blame the fire alarm that disturbed your sleep. But acknowledge, oh, that's very good. So let me change that important work at hand. Oh, don't change your fire alarm that disturb your sleep, or important work at hand, or obsessed with the world outside. Are you getting it? I believe you. Fire alarms are annoying, but serve the vital safety functions. Is it not? Yesterday I was looking, so the battery was low, so it started beeping, and I said, what happened? So from there I got this metaphor. I said, oh, that's really good. So suffering serves a protective function. Even the modern science says discomfort often signals need for the change. What seems negative may be preserving something valuable. Awareness of danger enables appropriate response. Now understand. So I'm repeating, but in a different way. Why we repeat the same principles again? To raise your level of awareness, to help your intellect to settle into that wisdom. So when it settles into the wisdom, the mind has a value set, and that value set removes your delusion. We have already discussed that in detail. I'm not repeating it. If you have not gone through it, so please, you have to go through the previous audio files. Please download all those audio files in your device. Otherwise, every year I delete all those files. Even I forget what I taught. So come back. So the first thing, the fire alarm. So what is the first stage that I discussed? I'm going to add one more stage. This is what every master is talking about. And by consistent listening and learning, we may reach to that state, or we may not reach to that state. We will just keep sleeping. I heard it. Yes, I heard it. I know. Yes, I know. I understood. Yes, I understand. I understand. Did you understand? Yes, I understand. Did you understand? I understand. And then you get upset. That is your understanding. So sometime I repeat, did you understand? Did you understand? So then they just start reacting. Yes, that is the right thing. You have really understood. So the first step I said, person suffering, claiming deluded thinking as the right thinking. Are you clear about it? Deluded thoughts dominate the mind. It amplifies. I gave you many examples. She is cute and beautiful. I went with her for a lunch, but my mind was amplifying her presence with a sensuality. We also discussed now that object, that girl has become a sensual poisonous object. Why it is poisonous? Because it is causing a stress in my mind. First step is over. Now what happens, unless you raise the doubt over your anxiety, your stress, your duality in a conflict, who raises the doubt? So you can say the mind is 99% deluded, it amplified. What should I do? I told you that young gentleman, I hope he will change. That gentleman, do you remember? He told me that at least, she took lunch with me. I spent a lot of money. I said, you don't spend that much of money on me. You negotiated too much. And then at least, at least she should have sent a text message to me. So in order to awaken him, I said, you let me know what message you want her to send to you. I will send you, if you will be happy with the message. I will send you the same message. Not only once, but 10 times. You see, that is the second step. Raise the doubt. You raise the doubt. 1% activation of your intellect. Self-awareness. If it doesn't happen, then you will not listen to it. You are listening to this Eastern wisdom for 20 years without any change. No change at all. After 20 years, you will blame the teacher, you will blame the Eastern wisdom. Second step. So the person suffering with a doubtful thinking. Does the fire alarm really cause unpleasant sensation to me in my mind? Or it is, complete the sentence, or it is, let me check. 1% of the intellect, 1% of the self-awareness. 1% of self-awareness in the deluded thinking will take you to the third step. What I said, the third step, the people suffer from. Now I recognize the mistake I'm suffering. I should not. That is why this guy told me. No, I should not have thought about it. Why should I think that she should send me the message? Why should I expect it? I recognize the mistake. So that intellect now becomes 20%. And the moment you recognize the mistake, what is the mistake? What is the mistake? Can you figure out? What the hell, why the fire alarm is disturbing me? No, I have to check it. I have to check it. Why I have an anxiety and stress? I have to check it. I should not get carried away. Are you getting it? So then what happens when I recognize the mistake, through the intellect, the mind goes down, it releases some degree and amount of the anxiety. You are still suffering, but now recognizing the mistake makes you humble. Humility, I discussed about the humility many a times. Humility means whatever the solution offered by the deluded mind is not the right solution. I will seek the solution from someone else, from outside, not from my mind. Humility, we say, vidya dadati vinayam, I told you. The knowledge, the humility, the state of humility in the mind begins The knowledge. Knowledge of what? Here, the knowledge of the self. So the 4 steps are done. Now the 5th step. The person suffering, you have recognized the mistake, you have an intense desire to get free from the suffering. Until that level of, in modern science we talk about motivation, if your intention, but don't go for the explanation from the modern approach. Follow this approach, because every step is logical with a cause and effect. So it will help your mind too much. Otherwise, we will say, oh, I should keep the intention. We use the word intention, and in USA it's very easy to use. Oh, no, I have a right intention. But as long as this intention is deluded by the deluded thinking, you don't have a doubtful thinking about that anxiety and the stress. I doubt, fire alarm. Oh, there is a doubt. What happened? Let me see. Let me check. Oh, nothing, it's only a battery is slow. Let me exchange it. You see the very process. So here the word is used in Eastern wisdom as mumukshu. Mumukshu means I have an intense desire for freedom. Have you ever thought? Or does a thought rise in your mind that what the heck, I have been suffering from anxiety, reaction, blame and complaint. Is there a way to get freedom from it? Once and for all. Have you ever thought of it? If you have thought of it, you are a mumukshu. You have a right intention. You have a right, good, and a proper desire to get rid of. Now, I want to get rid of, normally people do, they get rid of the husband by divorcing. They don't get rid of the stress. No, I'm just giving them. They get rid of so many things, I don't want to say, you can add this. 5 steps. Sorry. Now comes the 6th step that I did not discuss last time. Person, now because you have a right intention, that right intention lives in your mind days and days and weeks. Like your anxiety lives days and days and weeks. Your stress, your thought of blame and complaint lives in your mind days and weeks and months. But now that intention, when the mind is saturated with the knowledge of the Eastern wisdom, what is that? That I will follow only what is right, good and proper in my life. In terms of my thought, speech and action, in my personal life, in my professional life, in my social life, in my family life. What is right, good and proper. If it is not right, I will go after likes and dislikes. It will cause an attachment. It will convert the object into a sensual object. I will start the sensual thinking. That is why that process is known as Shreyas. We look in your behavior. Teachers, the Eastern wisdom looks in your behavior, attitude, in your thought, speech, and action. Do you want to follow the Shreyas? Are you committed to Shreyas? Why? Because you invoke Satoguna again and again. It is always available. You don't invoke Rajoguna and the Tamoguna. I am sleeping while listening to you. Why? Because your talk gives me a good sleep. It will not work. It will not. Oh, I feel sleepy. Many people tell me, when you talk, I feel that, I should go into sleep. At least you accept that, then there is no problem. So the sixth step is the Shreyas and Prayas. In majority of the text, when you study the text yourself, they will say simply follow the path of the Shreyas. Then you become a seeker. They don't give you this explanation. And that is why we say that you have to learn from the teacher. So it is the path of the Shreyas, not Prayas. Are you clear? Now when you are clear, Shreyas and the Prayas, no, you disturb me. No, it is Prayas, not Shreyas. No one can disturb you. Because you have a background knowledge. No, it is Shreyas. Honey, why you are nagging me? Hold on. Shreyas, not Prayas. It is a matter of self-awareness, nothing else. It is a matter of understanding. It is a matter of knowledge. In the most famous text of Gita that we will be doing, we'll be reading and studying, the first chapter, Master says to the seeker, you are not worthy of suffering. In Gita goes to the extreme. But the seeker says, what the heck you are saying, everyone, my honey is creating a problem. He or she took away all the money and she is exploiting, or he or she is exploiting me. Master doesn't want to listen to the talk. Master says, you are important. You are not worthy of suffering. I made you the statement. Would you like to contemplate and reflect? He reflected on it and he became a seeker, and he said to the teacher, guide me, what is the path of the Shreyas? The moment your mind is committed to the path of the Shreyas, it will help in your personal life, it will help in your professional, social and family life. I can promise. So recognition means your awareness. Animals can't become aware. I have an ability to be self-aware. I have an intellect. I can be humble. What is the meaning of humble? I have tried all the means to find the solution of my anxiety. Let me drop all the solutions, including the problem. Let me follow the totally new. What is new? Eastern wisdom. So then I set the intention. From the intention I become the seeker, and the seeker follows the path of the Shreyas. That is why I say, once a seeker, always a seeker. One more thing that is very important. Now you are a seeker, you will not have a problem. No, you will have a problem, but you will recognize it. You will dilute it. You will be able to dissolve it. And you will reach to a point what you did not understand, the subtler principles of the Eastern wisdom, to remove the ignorance to find the real self. Even before finding the real self, you are able to calm down yourself. Why? The seeker is always calm. Then why we are studying? Before we find the real self? No. A seeker, once a seeker, always a seeker. It lives with almost 60% of Satoguna, 20% of Rajoguna, another 20% of Tamoguna, living, personal, professional and social. but 60% is intact. Conclusion, the summary of today's talk. I am a seeker. Why? How? I follow the path of the Shreyas. What is Shreyas? It bypasses the prayas. What is prayas? Prayas includes the deluded thinking. When at home, in your personal life, in your professional life, in your social life. Oh, that makes you a seeker? Answer is yes. That makes you a seeker. So what I told you, once a seeker. You are a seeker the moment you wake up in the morning until you retire to the bed. Next day you are a seeker. Third day, week. Once a seeker, always a seeker. It is such an interesting knowledge that you don't want to leave, provided Shreyas is there. Yes, now is the time to share. I appreciate the way you all shared last week. It was wonderful. And then I thought, I also reflect constantly, okay, this group session, how to take up the new subject, how to help you progress. And that is why I pick up this topic of the Shreyas and prayers. Yes, Dennis, you want to go ahead?
Yes, I was thinking to pick up the topic of motivation, as you mentioned it today. And I think that this motivation to tread the path of Eastern wisdom, it begins understanding. We are motivated to continue working towards becoming a seeker and advancing as a seeker because we clearly understand the value of this seekership. When we get tired of doing same things over and over again and expecting a different result, we start questioning popular belief that this or that object or person will give me happiness. And from there, I think we become the seeker number 2 in your classification. And then it takes just a little contemplation to understand that these outer things cannot not only cannot give happiness but also an obstacle to get real happiness. And from there we become more advanced version of a seeker. And so little by little we understand that nothing from the outside world can give happiness, and that brings even more motivation to tread the path because only the inner self, the real self, can not give happiness. It is happiness. It is that I'm looking for and that I have been searching. So is it possible to take motivation from someone or a teacher, for example, or from someone said something? No, it is not possible, because that type of motivation will decrease over time and eventually will vanish because it is external. It can come only from within and only from understanding.
Beautifully said. You see, it's such a simple thing. If you remember the stage number 2, 3, and 4. Take an example of this young guy who met one girl. First girl was also cute and beautiful, and he got frustrated. Second, frustrated. Third, also frustrated. Now, if I don't raise a doubt, what is happening to you, my mind? If I don't raise a doubt, am I a human being? No, I did not tell him. Am I a human being? That is one. Second part, I like pasta. For example, pasta gives me the pleasure, but at the same time, I am fully aware. I have tried pasta 100 of times. It gave me the pleasure, but it did not give me the everlasting pleasure. That happiness lies within me. So let me have a pasta without amplifying it. Without amplifying means what? Mind is clear. Mind is clear. Yeah. That is how the seeker lives inside outside. Yes, David and Jerry, you want to share?
Yeah, thank you. The my sort of one word I have right now is that the practice of Eastern wisdom is this iterative process that we go through, and the more we use it, the more we see the benefit, the more we get confident to use it again. And so, going through this journey of providing these tools that have been proven for hundreds or thousands and thousands of years, these are not some .com money quick type thing. These are, well established and thought through. So the power of that gives confidence to continue the journey when we may be questioning or trying to understand. So it's, again, back to this iterative process. It's try and learn and try and learn and grow. So that's my takeaway from today.
Yes, you see that what David says, Shravanam, listening and learning, consistent listening and learning, followed by the contemplation and reflection. So you learned Shreyas and Preyas, but you do not contemplate and reflect. When you contemplate, reflect, you know all those steps, 6 steps. When you know all those steps, now the knowledge sets into the intellect. Knowledge sets into the intellect, the mind changes the value. We discussed about mind changes the value. Otherwise, mind will continue to keep the value. Okay, not one, cute and beautiful. Let me have the second. Let me have the third. What is the process? I am getting more frustrated that I don't recognize it. Now, I'm not pointing to myself, I'm pointing to that guy. Don't think about it. So, yes, Jerry.
Thank you. I like the alarm. And so anytime we're frustrated or blaming, complaining, whatever it might be, feeling empty or whatever it is, then we can check it. So it's really that simple. Just check it. And I think that with this practice, we have so many opportunities every day to check things. and that proves it to us how that works.
Yes. Fire alarm, or alarm in any way, or any other means to put my mind into a self-awareness. Whether it is a doubtful, that is how the Masters uses in other texts, doubt plus recognizing the mistake. So that raises my self-awareness. What the fire alarm does, it raises my self-awareness. And in that self-awareness, I perceive what is wrong and right. So I perceive if there is anything wrong, put it right. You become a seeker. The moment you are a state of the seeker in your mind, you're already calm and relaxed. In that state of calm and relaxed, you start the journey of self-discovery. Yes, who wants to share?
I will. The person that you talk about who is frustrated and upset about the situation, I think what's happening is he's looking for happiness in other people.
Yeah.
He's looking for other people to fix his life. He really has to look into happiness.
Yes. That is what the Eastern wisdom says. But it gives you the reason, it gives you the cause and effect. If I'm unhappy with one person, second person, third person, it means the happiness is not the property located outside. So that is the mistake I commit. It is still outside. He is now searching for the fourth one. Let him search. Yes, anyone else?
I'll go. My understanding or interpretation is that when we're in praise, it kind of serves as the smoke alarm kind of serves. And let me rephrase this: when we're in praise, that when the smoke alarm happens, that's how we know to get out of it. Because if we didn't have that annoying smoke alarm beeping, we would have the propensity to stay there all the time. Like, the guy with the beautiful girls, he likes the beautiful girls, but then there's something that frustrates him. And if he didn't, he would just be like enjoying the beautiful girls all the time until he gets to that point where he's like, oh, she doesn't do what I want her to do, or things aren't going the way I want them to go. That's his smoke alarm. That's his reminder. Like, oh, you're not in Shreyas. You got to get out. You got to go back.
That is what is happening to him at last. And there are thousands of practices. So I chose the mala practice. I gave him the mala, the beads, and I said, you have to do this. I think perhaps we all have done once. And then he was totally absorbed. So, the sensation, touch of the mala, physical sensation. I said, keep looking at the bead, chant the mantra. So I was locking his mind to be able to recognize that alarm. Enough is enough. Let us see what happens. Beautifully said. Anyone who wants to share?
I'll share. I think I know the answer to this, but I feel like the suffering, I'm tired enough of all the suffering, right? And why isn't that just enough to rise that commitment, right, to this place of, being able to keep turning the mind? I guess that's the ego is so strong and powerful, maybe.
Yeah. Our masters have explained on the basis of ego, they have explained on the basis of deluded thinking, they have explained on the basis of superimposition, they have explained on the basis of impurities in the mind at different level and stages, depending on the group of level of the seeker. Yes, you're right. It is all the ego again. Oh, I will be successful with the fourth beautiful. When I told him that how many people, how many girls of her age in the entire world are also cute and beautiful, millions. His answer is very clear, it is millions. But still he could not raise the doubt in his mind. I wanted another answer. Oh, I got it. What you want to say? No, he did not say. Oh, there are millions. So should I chase millions? Now you see that you are going down by teaching instead of going up. And you continue for years to gather your suffering. That is why the master says, we are not worthy of suffering. Animals are worthy of suffering because they are controlled by the nature. They don't have a choice. Chicken is very good. You see that? We say that, we don't say it is slaughtered. It is placed in the mall. I don't want to go. We take it casually. Why? They don't think. We lose the very conscious thinking process. One master said it is purely a process of lack of thinking. Lack of thinking does not mean that you don't think. You are thinking wrongly. You are thinking in terms of the prayers. You are still searching for a cute and beautiful girl. That is the problem. Last thing, what practice you need to do it? You need to contemplate and reflect. Huh? Are we reflecting on the Saturday's session where we don't do the practice? It is basically a non-practice knowledge. So every master takes you to that state. Close your eyes. Eyes are closed. Place, position and posture. Check the fire alarm. Now I will directly say check the fire alarm. Means any thought taking you away? And do you raise the doubt? If yes, you are done. If not, you are sleeping, or you are in Tamoguna, not possible. Simple. Did you understand? Being comfortable. You look at the entire body moving. You see that in every step you are evolving, you are moving, you are doing every step at a deeper level. Instead of if I introduce the new steps, I'm taking you deeper into the same steps. That has to be understood. That is the meaning of a higher practice. So sensation, comfort, and steadiness. If the mind amplifies the sensation and the steadiness, follows the calmness, still some deluded thinking. But if you are settled in, if you are settled in comfort, you are there. You are already in the 6 stages. You have to check it. Okay. Then being carefree. Carefree means what? No thought, feeling, emotions, past, present, future can ever touch your mind at this time. You are totally free. You are totally free. Is it possible? So in being carefree, it has first stage, second stage, third stage, fifth stage, and all the time you are done. Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. May there be happiness for all. So because you have done the first 3 steps perfectly, it does not take enough time to be aware of that happiness. Or your mind has an intention set. Your mind is 100% clear and it is looking within. That is enough to be in the state of the calmness. Sarvesham shantir bhavatu. Sarvesham shantir bhavatu. May there be peace for all. May there be peace for all can settle in the mind only. I did not speak of that before, but I meant for that. So your mind can settle into peace only when your mind drops blame, complaint, reaction against the people outside. So if it drops, then the peace is everywhere. Yes. Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Puranam Bhavatu. May there be completeness in all. Completeness in all. Completeness. Wholeness. So sense of incompleteness is not there in the mind. Because of this sense of incompleteness causes the mind to have a deluded thought. Deluded thought searches happiness outside. Do you see that it clearly? You are progressing. Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. I'm adding another dimension. Am I in peace? Yes. Am I in happiness? Yes, at this moment. Am I in the sense of wholeness? Yes. That is auspicious. What is that auspicious? That is the Shreyas. Shreyas is a state of the mind. It's not a principle of physics and principle of friction lying outside. It is within you. And now, whatever the thoughts are left in form of past impressions or impurities, so look deep inside the forehead in the space, keep looking into the space and start breathing long, deep and hissing into the belly. Long, deep in the hissing breath into your belly. Should I set your intention right? Are you doing the breathing in the mode of the Shreyas or in the mode of prayers? You are doing in the mode of the prayers, you'll feel sleepy. Your mind will react and reject the breathing practice, and you will have lot of challenges. How many times? I have those challenges for the last 10 years. That's why you are not a seeker. You see? So that addition, you have to reflect on it. Oh, am I doing in the mode of the Shreyas? Intention is right. Where is right, good and proper for me? It's a deep, long and hissing breath into the belly. Yes. It will purify my mind. Yes. My mind is resisting. Now let me have the endurance and continue. So when I continue, it's the joy of doing. Joy of doing. Or you can understand, oh, there is a fire alarm by the mind. Mind wants me not to do it. But I will do it. I will do it with the wrong intention. Your body will shake up. You will fall into sleep. You understand now. It's very clear. I made the things simple and clear. You are doing in the state of the calmness, the first treasure. You are also doing in the state of the second treasure, the Dhamma. The mind is not drawn outside to any object. You see? Titiksha, uparati. So it means that we awaken to these 6 treasures. We have not to create and produce. Answer is yes. That is where we are heading to. Okay. And now stop this fast breathing. Pay attention to the flow of the breath. Now reflect your step of the flow, awareness of the flow of the breath with reference to the Shreyas. That way you need to do it on your own, but it will happen. If we are a seeker, it happens. The way it happened to me, it will happen to you. These are universal principles of Eastern wisdom. The flow of the breath, your mind recalls that the breath has an equal flow or uneven flow. Uneven flow, I don't worry, but I'm aware of it. I feel the freshness, calmness. Very good. Let me do the deep, silent and slow breathing, the nyasa, as I inhale, moving the mind from the top center of the head. We are moving the mind. You are aware of the spine. And Shanti. Mentally you are singing. In your mind you are singing loudly. Because what happens? Because of our ignorance or deluded thinking, which has kept a thought that if you are relaxed, it means sleepiness, laziness. No. In Eastern wisdom, it is more alertness, the higher level of awareness and alertness. So when the breath is going out from your mind is moving from the tailbone to the top of the head, singing Om Shanti. Check, are you feeling absorbed? A sense of absorption, not the sense of sleepiness. There is a very thin line, razor's edge. On one side you fall down, on the other side you rise above. Even while doing this nyasa, Om Shanti. That is why I said you do not fall into tamoguna. That is why I said that you are singing mentally, loudly in your mind. Om Shanti. While moving the mind with the breath in the spine, toward the head to the tailbone and tailbone to the top of the head. Om Shanti. In the same step, your mind is smoothly sailing with Om Shanti. No thought disturbs you. You are in this step, you are at a higher level. That needs to be understood. And I'll leave this and return to the normal breathing pattern. Check the flow of the breath. Do you feel the flow of the breath is equal? Wonderful. No, that too is wonderful. And now drop Om Shanti on the 16 segments of the fingers. 16 segments of the fingers. And I told you in many ways you can drop it. Your mind is so much deeply interested, sometimes it drops Om Shanti. Sometimes it enjoys, it says Om Shanti. You're not in a hurry to complete on the 16 segments. You are enjoying the journey. You will encounter those challenges of the mind, and then you will realize that my mind is a seeker, but yet it has to raise its bar of becoming a seeker at a higher level. At the same time, you feel the sensation, the fingers It may turn to be tingling, numbness, freezing, but the mind is enjoying the journey. In the deeper state of this type of meditation, you are fully aware, but your perfect place, position, and posture, comfortable steadiness, relaxation, and steadiness is maintained from the very beginning. That is not disturbed, even if your mind is disturbed inside. That is also a sign of progress. And now, looking inside the cave of your heart, visualize the triangle. Move the mind on a triangle, singing Om Shanti on each side of a triangle to check whether you have a complete sync. Hence, you have to move it clockwise anti-clockwise. Check. Sync is there. Equilateral triangle is pointing upward. The moment you find this sync, that is the moment. Push the mind deep inside the cave of your heart, singing as if by saying Om. Your own sound pushes the mind deep inside the cave of your heart. Mind seems to stop, Shanti, and do nothing. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. When you are doing a practice with audio file, you should extend the last step of doing nothing in the state of self-absorption. That will help us to lead us to awakening. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bring your mind on the right hand, your mind on the left hand. Lift your both the palms, place it on your eyes, open the eyes inside. Know your experiences, bring the hands down. We'll share our experiences. How are you, Stephen?
Sure, good. Thank you very much. I found the meditation to be extremely quiet, calm, and the only difference was when I was completely absorbed through the whole first part of it, and then when we got to the triangle, the triangle just continued to grow, and it was no longer inside of me, but I found myself following the whole outside as if the triangle was around the outside of me. And normally I'd fall into a deeper meditation, but I was so absorbed in watching the visualization of going around the triangle from the outside. Not sure what that means. I was going between, is this my mind or is this something that's just different? So thank you.
Yes, it's a deeper level, because we see, otherwise when we say spiritual consciousness is totally unmanifest, it is invisible, but it is experienced. So we are bringing the manifestation through the triangle. So that is what happens. So it's definitely a deeper state. How are you, Barbara?
I'm good, thank you. Despite the fact that a good friend at the session on Thursday called me in the middle of the meditation, I was able to remain in a state of calmness and absorption.
Beautiful. Yes. Fire alarm. I understood. Gone. Yes. How are you, David and Jerry?
Very good, sir. The meditation for me was very freeing, very deep, silent, very focused, particularly on the segments and the asana spine, extremely focused, and I feel energetic. Thank you.
Beautiful. Understand, if you have a right knowledge, clarity is there. Meditation is also deep. How are you, Jerry?
I'm good, thank you. Nice and calm, peaceful. That freedom from suffering and the lightness about life, when we do reach that, is a really beautiful thing.
Beautiful, yes. When the I see and experience peace is all pervading, means my mind has expanded. How much it has expanded? One example, it just came to my mind. You start filling the air into your balloon. Continue. And this balloon blast. Gone. Mind is gone. Only peace is left. That is what happens. How are you, Dennis?
Seamless and comfortable meditation. The breathing was equal, and there was a dark, deep space at the end with the full awareness of everything, but the focus remained on the space. Thank you.
Beautiful, yes. Yes, you remember, recall any principle. Breath, flow of the breath is equal, and the mind will become aware of the entire spectrum of those subtle principles, and we experience that deeper state. How are you, Terry? You have to, I think, yeah, you have unmuted. Yes, yes.
I experience, I had a lot of some kind of struggle going on within myself, and I kept thinking about everything. Particularly the guy with the cute and beautiful girl obsession. And I found that I wanted to say, that they are people.
Yeah.
I think that's being overlooked. I don't know why I thought I had to say that.
Any thought enters into mind, good, bad, high, low, likes, dislikes, we take it as a fire alarm. And from there we move ahead. It's okay. Battery was low, that is what I told you. Nothing, nothing important, casual. But if my seeking pleasure, like cute and beautiful girl, become an obsession, then I cannot move to the second level. Thoughts are coming, it's okay. But if the thoughts, I raise the doubt, I'm not meant for suffering, I'm moving ahead. How are you, Christina?
Thank you. I just felt just this sense of floating and wanting to bring that feeling and coming back to that, throughout the day. And that's really, wanting to build upon that feeling and come back.
Not only throughout the days, but days after days, weeks after weeks. Not only days after days, but in front of my... What did you want to say? In front of your... When you are with anyone. So you live into that state. That it means, then we realize that there is some consciousness which seems all pervading. You have an experiential learning. You experience, yes, there is something everywhere. That will take our step to the spiritual awakening. How are you? We are left with Sangeeta and Ashok. Oh no, Ashok, yeah. She left, yeah. Brandy left, yeah. Sangeeta, yes.
सर कई बार बहुत दुविधा होती है कि दो रास्ते दिख रहे हैं, मुझे ये करना है या वो करना है, तो वहां पर मैं यम नियम के साथ अपने एक वो रहता है कि मुझे कुछ गलत नहीं करना, किसी को धोखा नहीं देना, झूठ नहीं बोलना, उससे डिसीजन लेती हूँ तो मन हावी नहीं होता उसमें और मन कंट्रोल में रहता है और सही डिसीजन लिया जाता है.
That's wonderful. It's a traditional approach. Sometimes while living our personal, professional and social life, she is saying that she uses the yama and the niyama. So yama niyama puts my mind into what is right, good and proper. Obviously, that is also one path. And that I have not to harm anyone, I have not to blame anyone. So that is a practice of the non-violence. So it helps, it changes my behavior. Why? Why I have to change my behavior? I'm going for a spiritual awakening. So anyhow, Shokji sir. Namaste, sir. This is the fourth time today. Namaste. Yes.
सर मेरा ना वो लैपटॉप रिपेयर को गया हुआ है, so I am doing with the mobile set only.
Okay.
So sir, and sir, meditation was good and mind is very peace and and it will get. I try myself to go to prayers and not to prayers.
Not to
I have to be. I try to be aware. I mean.
Try to be aware while sleeping. Very good. Yeah, that is good. Anyhow, namaste. 25 years.
Namaste, sir. Thank you. Namaste, everyone.